Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Four Lads Had a Dream Rangers podcast here in midweek. Kenny, what day it's been? Signings and all sorts of stuff. And yeah, it's been good fun. How's your day been? Wednesday's your day off. How's it been?
It's been a very good day, mate. Actually had loads of family up. They're not long away. And my son was up earlier on, cutting hair, doing stuff. And yes, it's been an enjoyable day and an interesting one on the Rangers front because it's been non-stop since about, 10:15 last night, hasn't it? So it's been an interesting wee day.
Yeah, it has been a news that surprised everyone. First of all, you may have noticed, folks, we have a new background. It's the 1st of July. We have to welcome some new sponsors. Staying with us for the season is Candid, Amrit's very own ice cream empire. So yeah, absolutely brilliant to have them on. Also, we have LBJ Consultants. They are a legal firm. You can see everything about the company. I'm just going to read a wee bit about them though, and give them a proper introduction. They are basically an expert HR and employment law support. LBJ Consultants are here to help and give you personal and professional advice regarding your workplace, from contracts and policies to disciplinaries, grievances, workplace investigations, and employment tribunal representation. Their experienced team provides practical advice you can rely on. Their investment, Kenny, basically has allowed us to, it's allowed us to continue to advertise with Rangers next season and keep our seats on the gantry, and delighted to have them on board.
Oh, absolutely. Welcome aboard, and hope it works for them as well as it works for us, because it's one of those situations that works both ways, and we will make a point of pointing people in their direction for the next year. So
yeah, we certainly will.
Delighted to have them on board. Yes.
Yeah, also joining us as part sponsors are CBD Oil Scotland. Barry and the team over there, you can visit their website and you can get 30% off all products just by saying Four Lads. It's a great incentive for everybody to go and use the CBD oil stuff. If you suffer from any anxiety, any pains, ailments, things like that, this stuff can help you. So we are delighted to have them on board. A new start for Four Lads, Kenny. We're delighted to have new sponsors on board. We're still looking for more. We're talking to more companies to help us, but being able to make that investment, none of it's for personal gain. All of this goes straight back to the club. We're putting £6,000 into Rangers this year for advertising and sponsorship. So, and that, when people become members and things like they did the other night, is so pivotal, and they help doing everything.
Yes, absolutely. And I think it's important to highlight and point that out. We don't make money out of this. This is basically everything that is profit and Four Lads goes straight back to Rangers Football Club, because that's what we want to do. And you're absolutely spot on. Welcome aboard to all. And Amrit, as usual, is fronting up as well. And it's terrific for us, mate. Honestly, it's an honour and it's a privilege to be sponsored by these companies, and let's hope it works for them as well as it works for us, as I say.
Yeah, definitely. If you're wanting to use LBJ Consultancy, please tell them that we sent you at Four Lads. And if you're on the CBD Oil website, please also use the code 4LADS, 4 lads, just like that. And that will get you 30% off, which is a massive saving. It helps us, and it certainly helps. And Kenny, let's get straight into it. Ivor Pandur arrived last night at 9:45 announcement. I did message you and said, don't go to your bed just yet. And you being the wild rock star that you were up, you weren't planning it anyway. But he is here. It is a big signing. We believe, undisclosed fee, but we believe it to be in the region of £6 million. A lot of comments from Hull fans saying that they're devastated that he's leaving. He's a fantastic goalkeeper, needs a wee bit of distribution work, etc. I'll read what one of the BBC correspondents, because I was on BBC down south talking about Jack Butland going to Hull. So I'll tell you what he told me about this goalkeeper. But we spoke about it a wee bit on Monday night. It's now officially done. He is the new number one for the upcoming season, Kenny.
Absolutely brilliant news. And it's one of those that when you do go on to your socials and stuff like that, mate, and you have a look at what Hull City fans are saying, they rate this boy really, really highly. We talked about him the other night, and I can't pretend I know huge amounts about him. What I do know is the video reels and stuff like that, as we always do. But it is one of those situations where you look at his shot stop and it is top drawer. Hull fans basically expected him to be their number one going into the Premier League, which says that they all believe he can take that step up. So welcome to Rangers, young man, and let's see. We've got a tradition of incredibly good goalkeepers, and let's hope this is another one in a list of very, very many. Now, one of them we're going to talk about later on, which is quite ironic, isn't it? But yeah, I'm delighted at this, Stevie, and it seems a bit of a steal when you consider the 6 million going down the way and 3 million coming back up for Jack Butland. It just sounds fantastic to me. It's a great deal.
Yeah, it certainly is. I really like him. I'm not going to sit and pretend to anyone that I'm a massive expert on Hull City or Ivar Pandur, but as you know, Kenny, we spoke about it quite a bit. I actually prefer the Championship. I found, and people can disagree and appreciate that, I don't tend to watch a lot of English Premiership games because I feel that they're boring. I don't think you get, even the traditionally big games, I don't think you get. I've enjoyed watching the Championship, and even on Friday nights watching the Scottish Championship games. I think they're far more entertaining. So I personally, I've seen a bit of him. He's a fantastic goalkeeper. I'm going to read what. So as I said, Kenny, you know that I was on with James Hogarth from, I think it was BBC. I want to say it was like Humberside. Is that right?
It was, yeah.
BBC Humberside. I was on with them talking about Jack Butland. And he said Pandur's a very good goalkeeper, excellent shot stopper. Hull will be very disappointed to lose him. Needs to work on the speed of his distribution, but his distribution isn't terrible. It's more the speed of it. So there is that as well. But I'm excited to have him here. Some top class saves, 14 clean sheets last season, which isn't to be sniffed at because Hull actually conceded a lot of goals, but he didn't concede. He didn't concede in 14 games, and he kept that run during the playoffs, which was most critical. Big game player. He's 26, Croatian international. He's not number one, but he's part of the squad. Everything kind of ticks the boxes for me. Now, listen, it's all right us saying we've seen him and he's made good saves and everything else. The crux of it is always going to be on how he performs for Rangers, isn't it? But on the old traditional one, on paper, this looks to be one that really works, I think, and hope.
Yeah, well, it's such a key position, Stevie. You've got to get it right. And we discussed the other night about Jack Butland. And Jack Butland, we wish him all the very, very best, obviously. But his performances in the second half of last season really kind of caused the team itself an issue. Now, I'm not laying the responsibility for that on Jack's solo in that respect. I thought defensively we were terrible at times. Now, that is going to get a complete overhaul. We've already seen it with Ben Godfrey coming in, and we and Ross McCrory coming in. There is an overhaul coming, and the keeper, as I say, is such a vital area of the pitch that if you can get a defence that's confident in their goalkeeper and a keeper that's confident in the four guys in front of them, then it's a recipe for a good defence and success. And that's what kind of excites me about this, that when you see, people in the media down in Humberside and you see their support and they are all singing from the same hymn sheet and coming from the same area where they genuinely believe that he's a top keeper, then you've got to trust that. The Championship's a fantastic league, Stevie. On you, what you were saying about the Championship and the Premier League, I probably watch more of the Championship than I do the Premier League down there, because I just find that it's a very turgid league, the Premier League, the last couple of seasons, and it's very set piece orientated. And listen, welcome to the club, and let's see what he brings. But I have genuine faith that we've picked a good one here. And at the end of the day, Stevie, you're spot on. It will be what he does in a Rangers jersey that defines how we feel about him. But I genuinely do think that when you're putting out that kind of outlay for a goalkeeper, you've got to have total faith that you know what you're doing and that you're picking the right guy. And again, you've got to give Rangers credit for this, because it's came completely out the blue a couple of days ago, bang, and here he is. He's here, and it's fantastic, because nobody's getting a sniff of anything really at the minute. So well done to them, because at a time when a World Cup's on and agents are flying about everywhere, how you're keeping it quiet, I don't know.
Yeah, it was Alan Nixon who first broke it, I think, on Friday. So well done to him. It was very quickly proven to be kind of true, and it went from there. So outgoing Jack Butland. Jack's been 3 years at Rangers. There's been some big highs and some big lows. He's made some magnificent saves and some horrible mistakes at times, some quite high-profile ones. But one thing that Jack Butland has always done is represented himself fantastically as a Rangers goalkeeper and a Rangers employee. He's never been anything but decent. To deal with Jack Butland, it was a pleasure. Pulled me aside once for my manner of question to him, and it was very friendly. He just said, I can take it because I'm experienced and I'm trained to do these things. But if you had asked a younger boy that, and it was after the Falkirk 0-0 draw, I don't know if people remember that back in November time, I think it was. So Jack pulled me aside, and he wasn't bad about it at all. He just said, Stevie, if I had been a younger player, I wouldn't have been able to do that. Just the way he conducts himself, I think, is fabulous. He wrote last night a message to the Rangers support, and it read, 3 years ago, excuse me, I'm not getting emotional, I promise. 3 years ago, I made a decision to join this great football club with no hesitation. I'm so glad that I did. While it's been a roller coaster, I've always tried to represent the club in the best way I can, both on and off the pitch, and I leave with great pride, knowing that I truly gave the fans, the club, and my teammates my all. To the fans that followed us everywhere, you are what makes this club so great. We created memories and atmospheres all over Europe, and the sound of Ibrox in full voice will stay with me forever. This is only goodbye for now. You've created a family of lifelong Rangers fans. Once a Ranger, always a Ranger. Me and my family will always be that. Thank you. Pretty classy words from a guy that, by the way, put the goalkeeping stuff to the side, and we're not going to sit here and pan him anyway, but put that to the side a minute. Jack has been a classy ambassador for Rangers. He's wore the captain's armband. He's led us with dignity off the pitch, and he's done it on the pitch as well. His wife also, Annabelle, I think her name is. She's absolutely lovely. I met a funny story. When we used to do the kind of predictions beforehand, I actually stopped them and stopped the kids and asked if they wanted to predict the score. And I didn't realise it was them. Didn't realise until after we went in. It was when we were playing at Hampden. I think it was a 6-0 win against St Johnstone, if I remember rightly, just before that. And it was very funny because I quickly realised when they had the wee shirts with number 1, Daddy on the back of it, I was like, oh my goodness. And then so we had a laugh about that, me and Jack, when I next spoke to him. But just class from Butland in his words, I think.
Yeah, a model professional, class guy, lovely person, beautiful family. What can you do but turn around and give the man a great send off? He goes with it. Well, certainly my best wishes, and I hope he has a wonderful end to his career. And the message from his wife, you got the impression that the way his kids have taken to this and stuff like that as well. You get the feeling that Scotland's been very good to them, very, very kind to them. They've loved their time up here, and I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest that once Jack's career's over, they actually think they're coming back up here and staying full time. Because, and I'm not saying I know anything, it's just in the nature of the comments from the pair of them, and they've just got embroiled in the Rangers' journey that they've had. And I actually have a great admiration for Jack Butland, because the stick has followed him about wherever he went, and it's just a lot of it's unjustified. As I said the other night, that I feel that there is that almost to a point where under Russell Martin, he was that under siege at times that I think fatigue might get to players, and I think in a keeper it might well be that has been part of his problem, that defensively, over the last couple of years, Stevie, we have not been good, and I don't think it helps any keeper. So, listen, I wish him and his wife and his children all the very best and every success in his future career. And I hope he goes down the hill and smashes it. It's a great move for him. It's a big city. It's a good city, and it will be a place where the intensity will not be as extreme as it is in Glasgow. And I hope he thoroughly enjoys his time, and good luck to him and all the best.
From a Rangers point of view, Kenny, £3 million with a year left on his deal is still not been announced officially yet. It will do in the next coming days, I suppose. He's already said he goes goodbyes. I think it's all to do with Hull splitting the years on the financial stuff. But from a Rangers point of view, we all kind of thought it was time for a fresh look at it. Even I did, and I'm a big fan of Jack Butland. The form towards the end of the season, I think fatigue's a good word to use for him, because he starts off every year like a house on fire, and then that year that he was number one up until Southgate watched him, and then it all went kind of horribly wrong for him. I think £3 million for us is very good business.
It's excellent business, Stevie. It's when you sign a free. A freedom of contract player at the end of the day, and you're giving him a hefty signing on fee, you're giving him a good wage. It's an ex-England international, the reputation that's coming, and for me, is he an all-time Rangers great? Probably not, purely on the basis of some that have went before him. However, I think that a lot of the stick that he's received over the piece has been unjustified. Now, I'm not saying all of it's unjustified, but we've sat there and ladled into many a player on here, and with good reason at times. But I just feel that when you consider that you've got 3 years service out of this guy, he's won one trophy, he's done well in Europe for us, brilliant in Europe for us actually, if you consider it. In the main, that's where a lot of his better performances have been. And as I say, £3 million with 3 million, going down the way, if you like. In total, if you like, with Pandur. It's a cracking deal for Rangers. It really is, isn't it? I mean, you just look at it and think, well, he's 32, you're getting £3 million for a 32-year-old that we were trying to offload anyway, because new manager coming in, I'm pretty certain they wanted the majority of the senior players out the door so he could build a new side, Stevie. I don't think there's anything personal in it. I think it's just basically that it's a new manager and it's a new era, and we need new players.
Humbled to be watched by the very great CJ Novo, my good friend Craig. Mate, I hope you're well. Probably a good time actually to talk about this. Everybody knows CJ plays for Scotland YouTube football team, and very successful at it. He's scored a couple of goals at Ibrox recently as well. On Sunday, the 19th of July at 2 p.m. at Barlia Sports Complex, the guys are having a charity football match, and it is for a really good cause. And last time there was hundreds of folk there watching it, and CJ has very kindly invited me along to be gaffer of the Scotland YouTube team. So I'm very excited about that. If I can make it, then
they're getting pumped then, aren't they?
Well, listen, no. CJ heard about me taking control of W Academy's under 10s earlier on in the season. when I championed them to a 6-2 victory. So listen, CJ's obviously heard about that, but he's an absolute class lad. They're having that charity game. It's to raise a lot of money for suicide prevention and stuff like that. The team they're playing has a lot to do with that as well. So CJ will be able to tell you all about that, and we'll do more build up. Maybe even get CJ on to talk about it for 10 minutes as well on the way up. But going to be gaffer for CJ and the YouTube Scotland YouTube team. So that'll be a lot of fun. Will I sub CJ off early? Absolutely not. I definitely won't do that. But a great thing, Kenny, to be involved in. And from a Four Lads point of view, great to have CJ watching as well. The GOAT, 60-odd thousand subs that man's got. You could throw us a few.
The king of Rangers YouTube is Mr. Novo. Listen, I'll tell you right now, lovely guy. I've met him a couple of times now, and a wonderful human being. Couldn't meet a nicer person. Wonderful cause. I absolutely love it. All I would say to him is that pick the team before he gets there, and it's just as well you're not refereeing, isn't it, mate? Because ends up fights on YouTube and all that when you referee. But no, listen, being serious for a moment, it is a great cause and fantastic work. And by all accounts, he's not a bad player as well. So, yeah, don't ruin him, Stevie.
Yes, listen, he's a great guy. Me and CJ go back a very long time. So we'll do more on the run up to that. But that was a nice wee break. On Monday evening, there was a few comments from people. And they said, well, get Alan McGregor in as goalkeeping coach. And I said, no. I said, Alan McGregor can't be goalkeeping coach because he doesn't have his badges. So I shot that down. Just didn't see it happening. Lo and behold, it's got a funny way of making you look extremely silly. Hands up, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't think it was possible. Alan McGregor is back as Rangers goalkeeping coach. Broke the news this morning. And he's back, Kenny. I don't know. What would you say? Is it? Well, listen, biggest compliment I can pay to Alan McGregor is that he is by a clear distance the closest and right up there with Andy Gorham in terms of greatest Rangers goalkeepers and longevity. He's probably ahead of Andy. As a coach, everybody talks about his dedication. Everybody that works with him, even as a footballer, talked about his dedication. He's got that reputation, yes, absolutely, because he was a bit of a lad when he was younger. But in terms of dedication, first in, last out, he's now the goalkeeper coach. What we think will happen is he is going to study for his exams this time. So what we think is going to happen is that there'll be somebody to babysit him while he gets his licenses and stuff like that. So you may find somebody like Brennan, the same way as last time, would shadow him. But Alan McGregor is back as goalkeeping coach, Kenny. 48 hours after I said, that'll never happen.
I never trust the Four Lads with what we say. There's no point because, we've been wrong many a time, mate, and this one's no different. But on Alan McGregor, a bolt for the blue for me. I could believe that. And to me, it's a fantastic idea. It's a no-brainer almost, and I know you hate the word no-brainer put together, but at the same time, this is a guy that knows a football club. I think I've seen somebody turn around and say, and imagine a Tello Asgard not giving his all and walking in there at halftime for talk's sake, and what Alan McGregor's going to do to him. So in that respect, the more Rangers men about the place, I actually think, as long as they're good at their job, Stevie, this is what I mean. They've got to be good at their job. They can't just be Rangers men for the sake of it. And we know Alan McGregor is the two greatest goalkeepers that Rangers have ever had are Alan and Andy Gorham. They are. For me, I don't think there's any dispute in that. One for longevity and one for that period of 2-3 years where he was just genuinely, for me, the best goalkeeper in the world. And it's an incredible thing to do to be able to, acknowledge that we had the best keeper in the world at one point, But if it wasn't for Andy Gorham, Alan McGregor would stand head and shoulders above anybody, in goalkeeping terms, mate. And I do remember when he was here, and Jack Butland and Liam Kelly both really enjoyed their time with him, and they both pointed to saying that. So he's obviously got something about him. There's no way Derek McInnes would do this without actually knowing that he could do the job very well, Stevie. So, yep, delighted with it. And I did laugh today when I seen that meme where during the COVID season where
you could hear him
at the top of his voice. And every time I see it, I just buckle. It's just incredibly funny.
Yeah, it's going to be certainly interesting. A really big dynamic change altogether, Kenny, in that dressing room. All of a sudden, Rangers men are all over it. You've got Derek McInnes, Al McGregor, Stevie Smith is still there. You've got then Shankland, McCrory coming back in. All of a sudden, that Rangers DNA is starting to appear all over the place. Now, that's great. We don't want to be one of those pods that go on about the staunchness and all that. It doesn't need to be. They have to be good at their jobs. But there's undoubtedly, in my opinion, a situation at Rangers where over the last couple of years the balance hasn't been right, and it's certainly something that we've had to address. Players that understand it, coaches that understand it, and I think we're starting to get there. I'm not saying, and we've never said litter the squad with, staunch guys and, that's the way to do it and everything else. But it's definitely been a situation, in my opinion, where not too many of them around the club and in the dressing room know exactly what's required. There's going to be no excuses now.
It's about DNA and identity, Stevie, and a lack of it over the last few years. For whatever reason, when you look at our dressing room, you look at the backroom staff, the immediate backroom staff and the first team I was talking about, there's a real lack of knowledge about Rangers, actually, over the last couple of years. And it's absolutely vital when you come to a club like us. This is a parochial country for a start. It is a parochial country. It's a parochial city. It's a two-team city where one is dominant and one is not at this minute in time. And it is up to the club itself to make newcomers, new signings, understand what it takes to make this football club tick. And I just don't feel we've had that over the last few years, Stevie. And I think it's shown in performances and a genuine lack of hunger or commitment at times. Not over the course of a season, just when it really, really matters. If you know what I mean, you don't see it. You see that what we need is lacking, I think, is what I'm trying to say. And that's where I genuinely feel that with Derek McInnes coming in, with Alan coming in, with certain players coming in, all of a sudden there will be an understanding from those players that they'll be able to give that understanding to certain individuals that maybe are looking at it and don't get it. I've seen a situation, I don't know if you've seen this interview before, but Jamie Carragher, very quickly on this, asked Thierry Henry a question. He was just turned up at Barcelona, and it's the more than a club motif thing that Barcelona have got. And he actually, I can't remember what player it was, but he looked at him and went, "Oh, come on." And Xavi was behind him, and he just went, "You shut up." And Thierry Henry had won a World Cup and all sorts at this point, and he says, "You shut up. You don't say anything about my football club. You've won nothing here. Therefore, you don't mean anything." And that's kind of the thing that I'm talking about, is like what we need. And Thierry Henry actually said, "Oh, I'm sorry," because he realised he had no right to do that. He says, and once you're there for a few years and you're successful, you realise what it means to people. And I'm not comparing us to Barcelona. I'm just likening the situation where I genuinely believe that there's a lack of understanding about what Rangers are by a lot of the new signings, and it's not being given to them by the club itself. So this is good for me.
Kenny, parochial? A couple of times you said it was that word of the day on the toilet paper.
Don't know where I've heard it today, mate, but I thought I'd use it a couple of times.
I have no idea what it means. Somebody can educate me later on that one. Out the blue this morning, we got notice from Rangers that they were announcing a signing at 10:15 in the shape of Dan Neil, who comes on a free transfer. We talked about Dan Neil, I think, last week, and every comment was that he was done. He was going to Sunderland and or Southampton, was it? Sorry, I beg your pardon. Where was it? He was away, wasn't he?
Yeah, Southampton. He was meant to be signing for
Southampton, yeah,
them.
because he was at Sunderland. Sorry, I beg your pardon. So we kind of dropped it, didn't we, from the kind of discussions, and we thought, well, that's it, it's done. We don't talk about it again. And then right out of nowhere, that text drops this morning. I got a message last night, right? And this is very funny. I got a message, and I'm going to name drop the boy. I got a message on Instagram, and the boy messaged into Four Lads, and he said, it was a boy called Christopher Todd, and he said that he was at the Rangers charity running around the pitch for the marathon training. People came in, everything was shut down, and they had to go and leave the stadium because something was going on. And he said they were hiding someone in the change room and they were doing photos, etc. And he said, "Do you have any idea who it could be?" And I didn't know. I had no idea. And I said genuinely to him, I had no idea at all. And then this morning that broke. So fair play to him. He had that wee bit of exclusion. We didn't know who it was, but Dan Neil is here out of the blue. He signed a 3-year contract. He's 24 years of age. He comes ex-captain of Sunderland, a lot of leadership qualities. He's a number 6 already at the club. Lots of clubs wanted him down south, Kenny, I think. Jermaine Defoe spoke about him. We'll talk about that in a wee minute. He wants that size of the club, the opportunity to win things. He wants that. He needs that demand to win every single week. To be here, I suppose, on a free. We picked him up. I don't know a lot about him. I've got to be honest. I don't really remember anything about Dan Neil. I've got to be perfectly honest. I don't know what type of player he's going to be. I don't know how he's going to fare or how he's going to show up. Is there a wee bit of anxiety around it being a championship midfielder? The old Rothwell thing. But this hasn't been one that's been a lot of fanfare. Normally, these signings work at Rangers when they're downplayed and they come in and nobody expects anything. The guys normally do pretty well. Your old Rod Wallace type, when he kind of came in and everybody was like, do you remember it? I think there was a day Rod Wallace came in, we were spending big money on Newman, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst. I think he signed on the same day that Lionel Charbonnier did, and nobody expected it. And everybody was a bit like, and then all of a sudden he's scoring 20, 25 goals a season. So, yeah, that came right out of the blue this morning, but it's one we have discussed before. He's here. He's our new number 6. Kenny, what do you make of that one?
Well, welcome to the club. I'm going to say I didn't see anything of him last season at all. I just didn't see him. I know he wasn't getting much game time, and when he went to Ipswich were flying, and I believe he found it very difficult to get into their first team, which is fine. When you've got a settled team and you're winning, I keep saying this all the time about players, if they've been on loan and it's maybe not been an overly successful loan. If you're playing at a team that's like Ipswich that got promoted, and they're a settled side and they play that many games, Stevie, they get settled quite quickly as a team. And I do feel that is the situation that he probably found himself in last year. But I can comment on him the season before when he was at Sunderland, and he was fantastic, Stevie. He was in that championship. Now, it's not going to be the first time I've said that. I've said it about Tom Lawrence. I've said it about Joe Rothwell. I've said it about many. Lundstrom was another one as well. And I know he had the Premier League experience the season before, but played in that league as well and done very well. I think that's where the problem lies with the lack of enthusiasm about it, perhaps. It's just the league that he's coming from. And it's not that we're disrespecting the league. It's the fact that we have had our fingers burnt a few times in that league. And the scar tissue is very, very much still raw for us in terms of forking out a large outlay in terms of signing on fees and wages and all the rest of it. And the boys turn up and they're triers, and but the league doesn't suit them. I've got a funny feeling with Dan Neil that the league might suit him, actually, just by the nature of the way he plays. And he's got that physical presence that we need in the middle of the pitch as well, Stevie. So with him and big Tochi Chukwani, then we're beginning to look like a presence in the middle of the park again. What's going to come and go over the next few weeks is going to be really exciting to see. But I'm actually quite happy about this because I had given up because all the kind of rumour mill online and stuff was effectively, he'd been up towards the end of last season but wanted to stay in England. And he said one conversation with Jermaine Defoe and up he pops, man.
Huge thank you to the Flying Pig 1872. We go again. Another gifted 50 memberships to the podcast. Unbelievable. People were asking the other day, how'd you get? You have to be subscribed and they're randomly distributed out to people. There's over, I think we're at 13,300 subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, you have to be able to get these kind of bonus memberships. If you're watching on YouTube, that's how you get them. Fantastic support for the podcast. That'll take us up to almost 1,100 members. Podcast is just doing unbelievably well. So thank you so much. Truly class. The other night was incredible. I think we had 260 odd membership gifted on Monday night. There's another 50. And we also had 5 previously donated by McFarlane 89 as well. So thank you so much to the guys that are supporting the show. We really appreciate it. Really appreciate everybody's support.
It's absolutely phenomenal, isn't it?
It is, Kenny.
Thank you very much indeed.
Yeah, I'm a wee bit kind of overwhelmed. Honestly, everybody appreciate it. Just a wee update. Sunday the 19th, 2 p.m. kickoff. It's free to watch, but there will be donation buckets and things like that. It's for LD Let's Talk, raising money for suicide prevention charity. That'll be CJ Novo's game for Scotland YouTube. I will be there to manage CJ's team, so that'll be really good. Sorry, I was a wee bit unprepared. I didn't know that I wasn't planning actually on doing promo for it tonight, but when CJ popped up, it seemed relevant to do it, and I didn't have the details to hand, so I apologise if it was a bit sketchy beforehand, folks. But CJ, as I said, get yourself along. It's free to watch. You can come and say hello to us all. Will we cover it on the pod site? I think we probably will. We'll maybe see if somebody wants to come along and watch and kind of watch the guys and support the guys as well. That'd be really nice. We'll certainly be supporting it. So that's the 19th of July, a 2:00 kickoff at the Barlia kind of stadium, and it's free to watch, free to come in. There'll be a donation bucket, and everything's going towards LD Let's Talk, raising money for suicide prevention charity, which is something that's relevant to absolutely everybody. So yeah, and you'll get the chance to meet the legend himself, CJ Novo. So why not get along? Kenny, want to talk a wee bit more about Dan Neil. The signings that have come in so far, Shanklin, McCrory, Godfrey, Pandur, and now Dan Neil. Business has been done quickly. It's been done early. How do I say this without being... It goes back to a bit about what we talked about before. There's people online saying, I'm underwhelmed about these signings. I'm underwhelmed about what we're doing. Rangers had to build a squad. We had to build people. And we talked about this. You absolutely need guys that are unfashionable. You need guys that are going to be your constant 8 out of 10, 7, 6 out of 10. You know, just your steady Eddie guys that are going to be performing every single week. I think we're doing that. Lawrence Shanklin's going to be a star. Hopefully he's going to score goals for us. Ross McCrory knows what it's all about. Ben Godfrey, we'll need to see. Dan Neil. It's all kind of low output. So for me, the big signing still to come. I would think so. This is a bit like squad building. It's a bit like putting... The blend's been wrong. Like last year, everyone was a big signing, etc., right? And they didn't have the experience and everything else. Now, I think we're doing it differently. Do we have to be more realistic about what we're doing? The squad, we have to be a wee bit patient. I mean, Pandur signed for 6 million, and we're kind of like, right, where's this star signing? Who's next? You know, a lot of names are being mentioned. What do you make of the business so far? Do you understand why people are a wee bit underwhelmed, or is it just this is life at Rangers unless they're all 10 million? It is like that. What do you make of it so far?
It's a little bit of all of what you've said, actually. For me, what Derek McInnes is trying to do here is actually level the lopsidedness of our squad. I think that's what he's trying to do for a start. I think when you consider the last 2 or 3 seasons, the balance is just not right in our squad at times, Stevie. We've got far too many in one position, not enough in another. And I think he's maybe trying to correct that as quickly as he can with guys that are you're able to get in just now, I think is what he's trying to do. Very interesting one on Daniel, where he turned around and he said that, I'm talking about Jermaine Defoe, but he actually said that the minute Derek McInnes came to Rangers, he was on the phone to him basically, telling him how desperate he was to get Daniel to come up the road and play for us. And he's talked to him a few times since, and he can't wait to get started, Daniel. Now, that's a good sign that, you've got Jermaine Defoe to kind of sell the club to potential signings. But when your manager's capable of getting it over the line as well, when the guy's coming from effective another league, that's a good sign as well for me, Stevie. So that's where I would look at it and say, we needed the right back. We wanted a new keeper. We need centre halves. Shanklin's almost an absolute gimme. When you're basically not paying anything for him. Daniel is available, and we've managed, and with a lot of interest in him. And we should be lauding ourselves a little bit. Whether it works or not remains to be seen, and we all understand that with any of the new signings. That some signings work, some signings don't. But I think I feel sometimes with Rangers and Rangers fans and guys like us, mate, that we have been through the ringer for so long that it's very, very difficult. I said this to you maybe a month ago on here. I'm not getting myself hyped up for anything next season because I just don't want to be disappointed again. But then this happens. You get 5 signings in, 2 this week, 1 last week, and all of a sudden you're like, I'm really quite buzzing for this all of a sudden and can't wait to get back to Ibrox. So it's difficult, mate, because of the nature of where Rangers have been over the last few years. And it's understandable that some will get excited and others will temper their emotions with it and say, look, I'm not keen on somebody like, for instance, and this is just picking it out of the hat because he hasn't played very much, but Ben Godfrey, who hasn't played a lot. I can understand why people are, well, why are we signing him? Well, he had a tremendous 6 months at Bromby, and he's a known football, very decent football player. So, listen, it's swings and roundabouts with the Rangers support. That's what I would say. You'll get some that'll go up and some that'll go right down, and it's just try to keep a level in between that we try and do at times.
Yeah, as I failed to do miserably. But Kenny McFarlane 89 has donated £5 to the channel very kindly. But yes, lads, we'd be happy if we finish with another centre back, left back, centre midfield, and 4 wingers, mate. If we get that, I'd be fucking overjoyed. I'll tell you right now. Do we need a centre back? Yes. Do we need left back cover? Depends what's happening with Scally. I don't think there's been many left backs mentioned after Penrice. So is Scally too young? Potentially. Centre midfielder, still think we need another one. Which is interesting because there was some sites reporting that Devlin was done. His agent has downplayed that, Kenny. We don't know where that is, if it's just continued speculation. They've picked up Dan Neil now. Do they really need Cammy Devlin? It's going to be interesting to see what happens there. But if we can get 4 wingers, then I'd be absolutely delighted, especially if one of them was Mikey Moore back on loan at some point. We know now that Tottenham are wanting to have a wee look at him and see where he is. But Kenny, on the question, thanks for the donation. It's not needed, but thank you so much. What do you make of that one?
No, we need more than one centre half for me. I would say we will still probably be looking at trying to get 2 centre halves in. If it depends, you might look at Clinton Enciala and say that boy will do a job for me. Where others haven't, you don't know. But there is a situation where you look at it and you say you've got Fernandez, Godfrey, Suter. I'm not sure that's enough, put it that way. Yeah, well, one might be decent. I think that's the problem for us at times. Mikey Moore, I'd love to see him back. Mikey Moore, I'm not convinced. I want to see Mikey Moore, if he does come back next season, out on the left as much. I want to see him through the middle a bit more. I think that's where you're going to see the very best of him. It would be nice to see somebody like Vaclav Cherny come back as well. However, we need a right winger. I think that's for sure. A lot will depend on what's going to happen with JD Gassama and Oliver Antman, because we have wingers there. Centre midfield, again, I will say that an awful lot of discussion and rumour about Nico Raskin being the subject of huge amounts of interest and from lots of different places. So there might be something in that. We don't know. Mo Diamandi, I've seen him talking to Derek McInnes, and they seem to be getting on very well. So we'll wait and see what happens with that. A lot of it will depend on who comes and goes from here, Stevie. But I can genuinely say that at this moment, I'm beginning to get the feeling that our guess that there might be 10 comings and goings might be a little bit light. I could see there being as many as 12, 13 at the moment, because of the amount of people that we've already brought in. In essence, mate, I think that it'll be quite exciting to see what happens over the next few weeks, because I can see a lot of changes. That's what I mean.
Yeah, I can certainly see a lot of changes as well. I predicted 8 to 10 signings. We're already at 5. I still think there's quite a bit of work to do, so maybe you might get more than that. We'll just need to see what happens there. I think that there's definitely progress to be made. There's definitely players to go as well. I think that's, talking about players that are going, Kenny, I almost grabbed and hugged my screen the other day when I seen that Atalanta were apparently looking at Tello Asgard for the fee of 16 million euros. And I had to laugh at some of the comments. No, we want 17. That's not enough. He's really good some days and stuff like that. If we got that kind of money for Tello Asgard, then you would surely bite your hand off at it. Is there a player waiting for a big exit? I think most likely somebody's going to go. If we can get that for Tello Asgard, wow, that would be quite something. I like him. He's a good player. I understand it. But I don't think he's suited to the Scottish game. Could we get more out of him with other players around him? Possibly. But, a World Cup goal and stuff like that, World Cup tax, we just fling on 10 million onto it. I would be, if you'd asked me, I would have taken 6 to 8 million for Tello Asgard. If you got a fee like that, that would be incredible, Kenny. Surely it's just rumours.
Who knows? I wouldn't pay 16 million for Tello Asgard, that's for sure. However, I'm not Atalanta, and I actually agree with you on this. I will say that Tello Asgard is a good player. It is as clear as a nose in your face if you're sitting in Ibrox and you're watching him. He is a good player. My issue with him is that he flits in and out of games. That is my issue with him. That there's times when you can see the talent and the imagination that he's got and the ability that he has. As I said before, his free kicks, he scored a couple last season when he was allowed to, and they were absolute top draw. I mean, they were sublime strikes. So he's got that in his locker. He's got international football, where he played last week against France for Norway, and he was fantastic. He was quite obviously Norway put almost a second string out, don't get me wrong, but he was their best player on the pitch. I thought the talent is there, mate. There's a reason why Rangers come in and got him last season, because we've identified the talent. It's nurturing it and getting the best of it. And listen, if Derek McInnes is the one to do that, our Amrit said on Monday night he was convinced that Derek McInnes will get the best out of him, then fair enough. Nobody's going to be happier than Rangers supporters. I'm just not convinced that if an offer of 14, 15 million quid's coming in, that we're going to even consider knocking that back. I think you could use that money very, very wisely and get more of an output than you got out of Tello Asgard last season, and I'm being diplomatic.
That would be a tremendous business for Rangers. We'll just see what you see. There's so many rumours going about. I like how Rangers have done business. We didn't hear much about Pandur, Godfrey, or Neil, and then they're in the door. So let's see what can happen. It's moving quickly, that's for sure. We do need to be ready. It's 4 weeks, Kenny. 4 weeks on Friday, isn't it? Until the first game of the season at Dundee United. 3 weeks till our live show as well on Friday. But yeah, it's all going. Are we setting ourselves up, Kenny, for a good season ahead? Is this the groundwork being done? That's the way I like to look at it. That's the way I like to think about it. This is the groundwork being done. The flair, the big signings might still come. This is the groundwork here. This is the solid guys that are going to win you leagues and stuff like that, or that's what I hope.
I think there's a few more of these kind of signings still to come. We've been linked with the likes of Penrice and Cammy Devlin, and the likes of Mikey Moore and Václav Cherny are a bit more extravagant players, a bit more attack minded. But I actually think I'm a big believer in this, and I know I'm in danger of repeating myself a lot here, but I'm an absolute believer that two good identical types of level of ability for each position will see you challenge. If you can get the right players in, and you've got two in every position with another 4 or 5 that can be kind of versatile, like Ross McCrory is a prime example of somebody that's a versatile player. He can play in a few positions, and these guys are great to have in your squad. And that's what I would think. That I think you're probably right, but I think there's probably 2 or 3 more of these guys probably going to come in that you're looking at. And we did say this a couple of weeks ago, Stevie, that what Derek McInnes does is gets a team that will run through brick walls for him, but he identifies players that he knows will do a job for him. He knows the Scottish market very well. He knows Scottish players very well. So he's used that. He's used Dan Purdy's expertise, and they've got together and they've looked at it and seen what they can do. And I think that you'll find probably 2 or 3, 4 of the bigger signings will come towards the end of the window, Stevie. And I think that's what he's going to do is, as you say, build that nucleus first and then expand out from there. And once he knows he's got exactly what he needs at the core of his team, he'll start to say, right, this is where, I want to go and get that 20-goal right winger or whatever it is that we're looking at. If you know what I mean, that's going to make the massive difference. I think I'm not saying he's very much in the mould of Walter Smith, but I think he's quite pragmatic in that way, that he wants his team hard to beat first, and then they'll have plenty about them to go and score goals. They're good at set pieces. His teams are good at set pieces, but individual brilliance is something that he looks for as well. And I think that's the way he'll go about it. Could be completely wrong, I'm guessing, but that's what I think.
I think similar. I think he's one to enjoy the summer instead of it being one that we over analyze and over skeptical, etc. I think we just need to see how it goes and take it day by day. There's going to be players coming in, there's going to be players leaving. Let's see how it goes. Trust in Derek McInnes. A lot of people wanted him here, a lot of people have got him here now, so let's see where that takes us. Kenny, Scott Fry, we spoke about him on Monday night, and we said on this channel that it was our understanding that he was to leave the club, and sure enough, very next day he's off to Birmingham. Do Rangers need to replace him? Are we looking at, or should we be looking at somebody to come in the set piece kind of situation? He did make an immediate impact last year, and we were cruising, like we were scoring goals for fun. Defensively, it was a bit questionable, and then it seemed to dry up just as as the running kind of got good. We didn't. What's your thoughts on Scott Fry moving on?
So we Birmingham, isn't he? Good luck to him. I wish him all the very best. Wasn't here long enough to judge the the totality, the totality of his work. Really, I feel that it's one of those specialized jobs that I think actually, when you consider it, Stevie, you probably need a whole season working with players, and then it'll just become bread and butter to the players. I don't think he's been here long enough to actually implement properly what he would have liked to have done. So it's one of them that I get the distinct impression that when you say, do you want to replace him, I get the distinct impression that Derek McInnes has come in and went, we don't need that. We have coaches that will sort that ourselves. I don't want to sit and be too nonchalant about this, but I think Arsenal are almost a kind of exception at times to the rule, where their set pieces, their game is so based on set pieces at times that I don't really want to see that at Rangers. I've got to be honest. So, I understand there's a market for these kind of guys in the modern game, Stevie, but I'm just not convinced it's a specialised set piece coach. We'll try and get that out. Set piece coach is necessarily what we need, mate. And if Derek McInnes goes for one, then I'll be quite surprised.
I'm different from you. I think we do need a specialised set piece coach. Jesus, you've done it to me now. One of those coach guys. We need one of those because I think we have to maximise the small margins. We need to be better from open play. We weren't scoring a lot of goals, but those wee margins I think we can get. Nice message here from Sorrow Plays. Hey, I come in peace from Hull City. You have an absolute hero on your hands. I worked with Joe, and what he said to you Stevie, about Pandur was spot on. Butland will be our number 2. For sure, though. Appreciate the message. Thanks for tuning in. Good luck to Hull City. Thoroughly enjoyed watching their run through the playoffs and that. And I think we have got a cracker on Pandur. So enjoy Jack. He's a cracking goalkeeper, and I hope he does really well for you. So thanks for tuning in. Kenny, it's been a roller coaster with Mikey Moore. 1 week he's coming, 1 week he's not. We do know that if he goes out on loan, Rangers will be very up there and trying to knock on that door to get him back. And I think Mikey Moore would want to come back. In all honesty, I think we'd be favourites to get him. I've said that before. De Zerbi wants to have a look at him in pre-season before deciding what he's going to do with him. He could be part of the first team squad. That could change very quickly. We know that. Rangers, I think, will have to wait for this boy if we're going to get him. He's surely worth the wait. We have Finlay Curtis there. We have Gassama. We need somebody else. What's going to happen with Oliver Antman? He might have that second season where he does finally settle in. Who knows? That might be wishful thinking. I still think we need another winger somewhere. Mikey Moore +1 has been really greedy. I think he's that good. We just wait and see what happens with him. We have been linked with the young fella at Arsenal. That was flying about the chats, wasn't it? Young boy, 16-year-old. I don't see that as being possible. It would be wonderful, I think. But what's his name? Is it Downing? What's the boy's name? Really young lad.
I can't remember. I think it's Downing, isn't it? Yeah.
Came out the blue today.
Max Downing.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah. I'd be amazed if that would happen. I can't see. I'm not sure Arsenal would let him go, but that was a rumour today. Max Dowman, thanks everybody. He was certainly linked. He's a phenomenal young player. Could he come? I don't know, but he would be a kind of star signing, I suppose. But it's a lot to ask of a young fella to move up here, and he is starting with Arsenal from the bench, etc. Mikel Arteta might feel that Ibrox is a great place for him to go, but Kenny, that's the kind of player I suppose will excite the fans, but I'd be willing to wait for Mikey Moore.
I think we're going to start twinning Ibrox with North London, aren't we? Listen, it's the Mikey Moore one. We'll just need to wait and see, because last week or the week before, I can't remember what they call it. It's not the director of loans, but it's the whoever deals with the loans actually kind of hinted that Mikey Moore will go out on loan again next season, and that's another 10 gifted. That's incredible again. But look, we have talked about Mikey Moore so often, right? And I don't want to sit and go over the top again, so I'll keep this one quite simple. I'd love to see him back. De Zerbi wants to have a look at him. I'm not convinced that's necessarily true. I think they just want all the players back, and I think the decision has already probably been made that Mikey Moore will go back out on loan again, because he'll have talked to Mikey Moore, his family, his agent, and Mikey Moore will return around and said, well, if I'm going to get in the first team, it might be different. But if I'm not, I'd rather go and get the game time elsewhere. That's my take on it. And I do feel that if Mikey Moore was to push, I think he'd probably want to come back here for the year. Because he's made a lot of friends up here. I do know that. You know that as well. And he loved the football, and he loved the football club. So that will depend on Spurs and what they decide for him. Because if they decide that they want him to go and play in France or Germany in a top league there, or go and play for another team in the English Premier League, which might be the case, I think Mikey Moore might well be the one that, if you think about this last season, this is where I'll leave this. Mikey Moore had every single club in the Championship interested in him last year, and he chose Rangers. So there's a reason why that the boy has got an ambition, and he wants to win, and he wants to win every week. And that's why I think if he does go on loan, I'm very hopeful he'll end up here, mate.
Yeah, we'll just need to wait and see. Kenny's been an action-packed show, a new era for Four Lads, with new sponsors. Huge thanks to our outgoing ones, but incoming is CBD Oil Scotland. As I said at the top of the show, go onto their website. You can get 30% off. I know the oils and things help a lot of people. We certainly help with anxiety and things like that. So, yeah, it's certainly worth checking out. 30% is a huge lot. Just simply use the code 4lads. Check them out. The link to their website is on our comment section on the description of the show, so please go and check that out. Also, Kenny, our new sponsors as well, LBJ Consultants, and we cannot forget Candies. Huge thanks to all of them. We will be adding some more sponsors. We're talking to another couple of businesses. We're really looking forward to it, and continue to make Four Lads grow. We will have, from next season, somebody at every press conference. Rob is going to be attending for Four Lads, so there'll be more coverage, there'll be more shows. We're well on the way to getting a show out every day. We've got well over 1,000 members now on YouTube channel, 13,300 subs, I think, on YouTube, 150 odd thousand people follow across social media. It's incredible, Kenny, the support we have, and we're just going to continue to grow and continue to get as big as possible, and hopefully people enjoy the ride.
Exactly that, mate. We have ambitions, we have aims and goals and targets that we want to hit. And the situation with us is that we intend to get a show out every single day. We intend, if we ultimately, to get more than one show out every single day. We want to back Rangers as best we can. We want to back them to the hilt. That's why we look for sponsors. We don't do it for ourselves. We do it for the Rangers. And that's the bottom line. That's what we do this for. And yeah, really looking forward to the coming season, put it that way, because I do feel that we have an opportunity here as a football club and as a podcast to grow and be very successful. And by God, mate, I cannot wait for the day that we start winning trophies and Four Lads can actually go and celebrate it, because since we started, it's been fucking torture. So it's been one of them.
Yeah, it certainly has been. But thank you, mate, as ever, for all your help on the show this evening. Folks, tomorrow for members, afternoon time, it'll be about maybe late evening or early evening, sorry. Our fantastic interview with Mark Walters will be live. That's on the Rangers Years. I think it's episode 9. Episode 8 with Derek Parlane went live for everybody yesterday. A great reaction to that already. If you hadn't seen it, please check it out. Mark Walters will be for members only. If you want to join as a member and join the revolution that we're creating over at Four Lads, then please do. There's 1,100 odd members. It's as little as 99p a month. And I think, how do you do it? Yeah, you can join by clicking on the QR code or scanning the QR code in the corner. to become a member, and that would be tremendous to come and join us. So before we go, thank you to our new sponsor, CBD Oil Scotland and LBJ Consultants. Please check out the companies, the descriptions, as I said in the description of the show. You can get 30% off at CBD Oil, and also tell LBJ Consultants we sent you as well. All that money goes back into Rangers. As we said at the top of the show, we will be investing £6,000 in Rangers this year, which is a huge amount from our podcast. We don't profit from this, from sponsors. It goes immediately to Rangers. So we have a few more that we're kind of talking to, and hopefully will help us with that. So it's been absolutely brilliant. If you do want to support us, then please get in touch. That would be wonderful. But Kenny, as I said, mate, final word before we go. Thank you, brother. Another hour episode. Thousands of people. There's 2,900 people watching through all the social media. Is a brilliant response. Thank you to everybody. Kenny, thank you, mate.
Not at all. Enjoyed that, mate. Good show. And welcome to all the new sponsors. Can't wait to work with them. And yeah, exciting times ahead, mate. It's been a good week.
Yep. Absolutely. Everybody, please enjoy the football. I think England scraped through against the Dominican Congo, wasn't it? I didn't see it. What is it?
The Democratic Republic of Congo.
Dr. Congo, Kenny, as everybody in work called them. I didn't see any of the game. I was at Silverburn making dad jokes with my beautiful partner, who was less than impressed. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed my joke. She maybe didn't. But tomorrow night, as I said, Mark Walters will be live, his interview with David Herd for all of you. And then later on in the evening, we'll have the Rangers History Years, which will go out for everybody. Friday night, the boys are back with a live show. Saturday, I think, we're Heart and Health. And then Sunday is a live show again, right back to me and Kenny being back on Monday night in the live show. So please enjoy whatever you're doing. Have a great couple of days. Enjoy the World Cup. Enjoy the content on Four Lads, and please leave a comment, get involved, and we'll speak to you all again soon. Take care. Bye for now. Or maybe not quite yet. Definitely bye now.